know, and obviously Aaron wanted me to preface this call on the power of events and how important events are and how important it is that you can actually take your business from one place to another place just from one event. And I'm going to go into that. I'm going to share with you some stories, and I'm going to share with you how people right now are making so much money just because not because they're great speakers, not because they're great networkers, not because they're great, great looking, or they look sharp, or they're whatever they have right now. It doesn't matter. What matters is that if they know how to promote, and promoting is a skill. It's like driving. It's a skill. Like playing football is a skill. If you know how to promote, you'll make a lot of money. You'll make a lot of money. You can be a club promoter, and if you know how to promote that club enough, you'll make some money, right? You can be a real estate investor. Imagine that. You can be a real estate investor like Grant Cardone and fill up a stadium of 30,000 people. Imagine that. This dude Grant Cardone sells real estate. He don't sell motivation. Does that make sense? He's not the kind of person like Tony Robbins. You'll go to see him anywhere around the world because he's that guy. He'll give you 3 days and he'll change your mindset, and he'll give you something that you'll leave and you'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna change some things now in my life. When you go and see Grant, all you want is money. You'll just want more money, right? And he's so good that he's got people from all different walks of life, people that don't even have the money to invest in real estate, that still go and see him, okay? Because he's a good promoter. But otherwise, why would a real estate individual have 30,000 people in a room? He don't make no benefit because he's not in network marketing, he's not in referral business, he's not in drop shipping. There's only going to be a handful of people out of those 30,000 that are going to be able to invest with Grant Cardone. Because the minimum investment is like 100 grand, right? I'm signed up to one of his investment programs, and the minimum investment is about 100 grand. So would you agree? Most of the people in that stadium would not have 100 grand spare to just put in, but they've gone to see him because why? He knows how to promote. Okay, so this call, forgive me if I'm a bit sluggish with my words. I'm a bit under the weather in terms of nothing COVID sort, so don't worry, you're gonna catch nothing through this call. But yeah, I've basically just been under the weather. My son had a cold, and I think I got it from him. So I wanted to, like I said, focus this call upon people that actually want to take their business to the next level, but take it in a way where sometimes you feel like you're working hard and it's not flowing for you. And sometimes you feel like you're working hard on the right things and then it flows for you. Okay. Those are the kind of people that I want to speak to today. Because like I said, on this call, there's going to be some people that just plug it in because, I'm on the call. They'll plug in because the guest speaker's on the call. But while you're plugging into any call that you go to, whether that be a go live session, whether that be, I don't know, any trading session, any training session, any networking session, any Instagram video that you see that you might think is inspiring, or any video that you see on YouTube, the mind frame you want to have is the notes that you're writing. You want to be able to implement those notes. Okay, remember always that I said this. Regardless of any conference or any talk you go to in your life, there's no point of writing down anything if you can't do those things. It's not wrong if you can't do it, but just don't write it, because anything that you write that you can't do, it's like you can just frame it as something to look at. It's not something to do with, right? It's not a souvenir. Whatever you're writing down is for you to act upon. Does that make sense? So if we talk about a certain subject, if that subject falls in line in what you can do, and that's why you do it. For example, it's like me doing a presentation for you. If I did a presentation for you and you couldn't sign up, you won't need to be in the presentation, and I won't need to do it for you. But the reason why we do a presentation for everyone is because we feel like everyone can do it. Does that make sense? Grant Cardone can't do a presentation for everyone because he would need to find if someone is an accredited investor, if they have 100 grand. Then he goes into the consultation. So we need to now know that once we're writing stuff down, are we really going to be able to do those things, and not just be able to do it, because being able to do something is just doing something. Okay, you will never know if you're able or not if you don't do it. So promoting events for me, and like I said, we're going to focus on that area today because I feel like if we focus just on promoting, everyone's business can skyrocket. Everyone's. I'm talking about wherever you are right now. Customer 2 and 3, P150, P1000, Chairman 10. Everyone's business can skyrocket with the right amount of promoting. Okay, right amount of promoting. The number one step to having to promoting, first and foremost, the number one step is to have something written down in terms of numbers. Okay, first step is numbers. So let's talk about it in steps. Okay. Okay. So the first step is numbers. So what I mean by numbers, I mean that the next event, the next exposure that you're gonna have. Now, I'm not even talking about the convention. I know Jordan, spoke about the convention, the virtual event. To be honest, I didn't even know why he even needs to ask you guys about the convention, the virtual event. For one, it's like £25. That's one thing. You're paying subscription for something like triple that, four times that. So you're gonna come to that virtual event. I'm not even gonna ask you guys that. But being at that convention is one thing, but focusing for 1, 2, 3 days is another thing. So promise yourself that you'll focus, because you're gonna have chairman 50s and above talking on those days. You're gonna have every educator talking, and I'm not just meaning talking. I'm talking about they're gonna be given in-depth training. It's never happened before, where you don't have to pay for a flight, you ain't got to pay for no hotel, you ain't got to pay for no travel, you ain't got to take no time off from work. I've got people that are gonna be on the call, on the virtual call, and they're gonna be at work. It's gonna be playing in the background. Now, of course, it's not always great for them, but at least they're doing it. They can't take time off work, no problem. You have it on in the background. Okay. So in the midst of actually doing this business, you want to write down whatever next event you're having right now. How many numbers do I want there? Because it's a virtual event, meaning that it's cheap, it's easy to plug into. Okay, anyone can plug in. So that means that if it's easier to plug in, that means it's easier to promote. See, when I first started in IM, the first convention was in Vegas, 2018. And I signed up middle of 2017. So they announced Vegas around September, October of 2017. And so I had 6 months. And I said, I am not going to Vegas alone. Yeah, I know it's going to cost everyone £2,000 minimum with travel, accommodation, food expenditure, whatever you might do, around 2,000. And so you're going to have people that are platinum 2,000 above try and travel logically. But my mindset wasn't that. I wanted to get people who didn't have $2,000 to go. I wanted to get people there who want to start making $2,000 to go. Does that make sense? It's not about what you're making right now that makes the investment. It's about what you're putting in terms of the hours that then can give you the investment, right? Sometimes people fork out, when I go to these seminars, some of them, they spend a lot of money to get there. I remember one of the events, I don't know if any of you guys remember, but we had an event in London and Chris Terry came and he basically said, guys, I know there's people in this audience. There's about 1,000 people we had in the room. And he said, guys, if there's anyone in the audience that don't have much money and spent, very close to what they have just to get to this event, just come to the stage. And there was 2 people that came to the stage, and I think he rewarded them with like $1,000 or something. That's just the kind of guy Chris is. He's just a giver. But in that perspective, I realized that there's people in many different circumstances, but people are going to fork out not because of what they have, because of the value you share. If you think something's important enough, like the way that them 2 individuals who never had much money, who took the time out on a Sunday to come to that event, imagine the way they must have been promoted to. Okay, they have to have been promoted well. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna write is numbers. How many numbers do I want there? So I said to myself, 2017, I said to myself, 2018, can I have 50 people in Vegas? Okay, can I have 50 people? If I had 50 people in Vegas, this is how I thought. Because the convention in Vegas, then there was a convention in September in Miami. I said, if I can get 50 people in Vegas, at least, at least 5 of them will come back and want to get 50 in Miami. Because it's all about compound. That's all it's about. Compound. Okay. So I never managed to get 50, but I managed to get 38. Okay. I managed to promote as hard as I can. People paid a lot of money. You know how bad it is? I even got the travel agent myself. I got one travel agent and I got everyone. I said, look, if you're serious, pay him the money. He's waiting for you to transfer. Pay £500 now, pay the rest after. I had people sending money for installments. I had people sending £100 every week or so. I'd done everything I could to get people to Vegas. And in Miami, I had triple the amount in Miami just 3 months later. Okay, in September. So that makes you understand that what is different from promoting one time to the promoting the second time. Every time you promote, if you promote big enough, you won't be the only one promoting. That's the important thing, right? Every time you promote big enough, there's going to be a small amount of people that are going to leave that event and there'll be some stars that are born. Okay, there's going to be some serious candidates that are going to come out. Like when we done a Sunday event, we didn't know we are going to find a Jordan that day, right? A London event. It's a small event, about 100, 150 people max. Okay, we don't know who's going to turn up, but we showcase the event every week and we promote it as much as we can. So even if people are traveling from Bristol or wherever, if they come down, it's a blessing, right? Because it can be a game changer for that 1-2. We don't do the event for 100 people, for 100 people to sign up. We know 100 people are not going to sign up. We do an event for 100 people. So if there's 5 or 10 or 15 that love this, that love this industry, love this company, they're going to be in for the long run. It's going to be because of you. Okay, it's going to be because of you. So just share with me on the chat what your number is. Just share with me on the chat. Look, you can be in any position, any rank. I can tell you right now, Junior wasn't even Platinum 2000 going into the convention in February. Right, he had D ranked. He had one of his organization had that. He actually was D ranked based on personals. It's crazy. He was inviting so hard that he wasn't even signing people up as much as he was getting people to. There was a time he phoned me. He's like, Zain, bro, one guy's telling me he's got money to sign up, but if he signs up, he ain't gonna have money for the convention ticket because the convention ticket for Excel I think was like £200. I was like, bro, don't worry about him signing up. Get him to the convention. If he pays for the convention, after the convention, he'll find the money to sign up. It's going to be done. I knew the value of it, right? I knew the value of it. And so when you have these numbers and you write them down and you put it into play, then there's no way someone can say to you, hey, you know what? This number's too big or it's too little. It's what you set for yourself, okay? Because numerically, whatever you've set, your goal is attached to that number. Right? Your goal is attached to that number. Because step number 2, after the numbers, you're going to now write down your rank next to the number. Okay, so number 2, so number 1 is rank. So number 1 is numbers. Number 2 is rank. Okay, what rank do I want to be after the event? After the event. No, what rank? Most people, they write down what rank I want to be by the event. This is the problem. When Junior said to me in December, it was December last year, he said to me, Zain, bro, I really want to be a chairman by February convention, man. I don't know what I'm doing. I said, Junior, you don't have much momentum right now, man. Your group isn't exploding right now. So even if you somehow stumble to chairman and you don't promote the event heavy because you can only do one thing at one time. If you're building the business hard, you're not going to be promoting the event hard because that's the kind of time it takes. Does that make sense? That's the kind of effort it takes. You're signing up people or you're promoting the event hardcore, right? And the kind of numbers he wanted to do, like 200 people, I'm doing like 250 on 2 lines specifically. He knew that he needed to go all in on pushing that event every single day. And it wasn't $25 either, it was £200, right? And imagine that after the convention, just I think it was like 5 weeks or something like that. He had raced to chairman right after P5K. So it's incredible to see the amount of force that comes out if you promote well enough. So second step, you're writing down your rank. Why? Because your numbers attach with the rank. Okay, let's look at an example. Junior, after he had actually promoted 200 people, there's going to be some people that come and some people that don't come. Out of those 200 people, we had about 30%, and we worked out, we had 30% of 200 go P600 and above. And that's what helped him achieve his rank. Out of 200 people, he had promoted in 1 month, from his group, he had promoted about 30 to 60 new P600s and above. There was P600s, P1Ks, P2Ks, P5Ks, and chairmen that were popping in the team. Sharman, for instance, P5K. Montel, for instance, chairman 10. They were being produced in his group. Aaron, for instance, P2K. It was amazing to see. Okay, there was many P1000s that came out of the waters as well. Okay, that all comes from the numeric number 1, then your rank number 2. Okay, third thing will be, with all that in place, is game plan, 90 days. Okay, after the event, what can I do with the numbers that can pre-launch my event? Okay, here's what I would do. Let's say we fast forward, because I want to get you guys in a position where this call doesn't just help you now, it helps you after the next month's call. Okay, so look at it from a time span perspective. Every time there's a big event, there's an opportunity. The opportunity is not the big event. The opportunity is the time after the event. Okay, keep that in mind. The opportunity itself is not the event. The opportunity is the time after the event. Think about it. Have you ever gone to a concert or a big seminar, and you might like this person, you might like this artist, you might like this trainer, but after the event you love that trainer, you love that artist, and you can't stop playing their music in the car, you can't stop listening to their voice in your head because why? That day or couple of days, it really, really resonated with you. Your subconscious is now plugged into that 3 days of just boom, being involved. So for me, if someone invited me to a 3-day or a 2-day workshop, guess what they have now with me? They have someone who's motivated. Does that make sense? And if someone's motivated to work, then that is what most groups lack. Does that make sense? Let's use this group for example. On this call right now, we have 35 people. There's different levels of motivation within that 35. There's some people on this call, 35 out of 35 people, they're not motivated, but they're on this call. And there's some people that are on this call to get motivated, and there's some people that are on this call that are self-motivated. Does that make sense? So there's different levels of motivation. So the people who are self-motivated or who get motivated, those are the people that tend to be coachable, that are willing to run because they're fired up, they're excited. The reason why Junior is always gonna reach some kind of success is because he's always excited, and because he's always excited, he always listens, and because he always listens, he always does. Does that make sense? If he was to lose fire when things went bad, guess what happened to Junior? He'll fade out. But because he was excited when things were bad and he was looking for answers, he's like, Zain, what should I do? He was looking for answers from Ivan Vangbo. Hey, Ivan, what do you think I should do? You're a chairman. He's looking for answers from David. Hey, David, what do you think I should do? So this is why the mentee position is sometimes so important, because the mentor would never know. Right? The mentee position is sometimes so important because the mentor would never know. So the third step of the game plan, the 90 days, is, let's say for instance, I had, someone wrote down 100, someone wrote down 150, someone wrote down 23. If I said to myself right now, 23 people I want in that event, okay, the reason why I'm doing that is because out of the 23, there might be, again, 30 to 50% that are super pumped to go and do something. There's going to be some people that are going to be like, you know what, I just want to trade. I love the fact that in the virtual event there was some great training sessions, and my focus is going to be to help myself become I don't know, 100 pip a day trader, right? Or 1,000 pips every month, whatever it may be. Okay. And I focus on that protocol. That's fine. But you're going to get that 30, 50 that are going to understand the value of residual income. You're going to get that 30, 50 that be like, you know what? I don't want no government, no furlough, no redundancies to come in my lifestyle. I want to stay clear of that. I want to create my own economy. And residual income is something where if you do it once, you're gonna get paid over and over. You don't have to worry about what he said or what she said or what Boris Johnson said or what Trump said. It's gonna be a thing where every Friday the company is gonna pay you, right? Because you're doing the work. You done the work, right? So that's so important. The first step of understanding the game plan and getting those 30% to 50%, and then establishing where they want to go, right? Working with them in the 90 days. Okay. So I told Junior, look, out of these individuals that have come to the event, why is everything exploding all of a sudden? Because everyone that came to the event, they're all motivated together. So now you're working with a bunch of people. So Aaron's group now, let's say he had 50 people at that event for Junior, where Aaron had like out of the 50, where he had like 5 people that were motivated before, now he has all 50 motivated. So guess what happens? Explosion. Because it all happens at once. Okay, it's not one or two, or it's no one's fading out. Everyone's on the board. Okay, this is so important for every team, that if you're not gonna be excited together, there's only gonna be small sparks. But if you're excited together, there's gonna be a fire. And a fire is very hard to burn out if everyone's making money, if everyone's doing the work, right? If everyone's doing what they saw in the event, if they saw recognitions and they're getting recognitions, boom, everything's falling in line. Okay. And so those are the 3 steps I would say definitely focus on. So the first step is writing down how many numbers you want. Second step is what rank you want to be after the event, right? And then the third step is that rank will come within those 90 days if you work with the people who have come to the event. If they have not come for the event, there's no reason why you should work with them. If they have not come to that event, then there's no reason why, because they're going to be lacked in education. They're going to be lacked on information. They're going to be lacked on motivation, all of those factors. So they're not going to be, the people are going to be running fast because they never even got the value. They never came to the concert. They're not going to be listening to the guy's songs. Does that make sense? So I want to be able to work with those people who are in that race, right? Who have seen what we've seen. And so we run with those people. Okay, 30%. So if I got 100 people on the call, out of those 100, if I got 30 people that I'm working with, imagine just 10. Aaron, imagine 10 of those people go P1K in the next 90. You're a chairman 10. Just P1K. Ain't that big? P1K. Right? You know what P1K is? 22 elites. 22 elite packages on 3 lines. That's what it is. 8, 8, 6 elites. 8, 8. Now, if someone comes out of that event and they can't get 8, 8, 6, if they push for 90 days, they must be doing something wrong. Because everyone I know that works hard after a big event for 90 days normally goes at least P1K. I'll give you an example. In Vegas, if you were to ask Junior, everyone that came Vegas, everyone, I'm talking about 38 out of 38 was P1K and above before Miami. Everyone. Some of them already went above P1K, but even the ones that didn't, because some people came and they were new. We had people that were new, came, never even like joined the company. They came because their friend joined and they were like, I want to come Vegas, well, I want to come to the convention. And they came with them and they came back, joined. They even them hit P1K. Right? We had multiple P2Ks that came out of that 38, multiple P5s. We even had 2 new chairmen in Miami that came to Vegas as P2Ks. So they skipped 2 ranks by the next event. So you guys had the example of Jordan about people who had skipped ranks through, I don't really say skip ranks. I feel like everyone gelled together. That you can say it like that, because skipping rank is like, you never went through it, but you went through it. It's just that you never reaped the benefits when you were struggling. You're still going through it. So it's not like you're skipping rank. Sometimes you're going to work hard and you're not going to get those ranks. And sometimes it's going to be like smooth sailing and you're skipping rank. It's like you're skipping, right? It's like hurdles and running straight. Sometimes the hurdles are down. Sometimes it's like you're jumping over and it's slowing you down. Okay, 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. That kind of principle. So those 3 steps, I would say, definitely focus on those. After the event, work with the players that have come to the event. They're going to be super fired up for it. One of the tools I would use, because I'm just going to finish off by letting you guys know about what I would do to promote this event. Because at the end of the day, how are you going to get the 100? How are you going to get the 150? How are you going to get the 23? So important that once you write that number down for the first step, promote as though it's you. You're promoting you, right? You're promoting yourself. Imagine if you were to promote you. Hey, listen, when I go to this event, it's definitely going to change the life of me and my family. If you're not there, believe me when I say you're going to miss out on a lot of financial success that we're going to create in the next 90 days. Now, that's just an improvised random pitch that I just gave you, but that's how I would speak. I would promote the event as though it's a genuine opportunity for them that they would lose if they are not there. On top of that is virtual. In my past 7 years, I have never seen a virtual convention. Never. Never. And of course, we're in circumstances right now where that's going to have to happen now. But we're so lucky that it can, because the masses are going to be able to see it. The masses are not able to see conventions because of flight, because of the expenditures, because of just not getting it, being able to get away from your home, etc. So we're so blessed. So we want to give that blessing to everyone around us and really push the event hard. Believe me when I say, I'm not saying it for my sake. There's gonna be hundreds of people, thousands of people through me, through my group. Anyways, I'm saying it for your perspective. Where do you want to be? How much do you want to push? What rank do you want to be at, and how can this help you? Social media today is a massive tool. Social media today is a massive tool. If you were to promote this event on social media, twice a day, however you can, because after the event is done and everything that happens after the event, you'll always kick yourself, man. You're always gonna kick yourself and be like, I should have went harder. I should have went harder. Okay, so you have about a month, so more than enough time to push, really put yourself in the deep end, do what you can, and hopefully from there, that event is a massive game changer for you, which I know it can be, which I know it will be if you do it right. And when we start events physically again, you'll see the power of how these events are run, and you'll notice that the reason why people grow in the industry is because they're around people. And these events, that's what it's about. You feel like you're around those people, because imagine being on the call and you're surrounded by success. When do you have that? Like even me myself right now, most of my days spent with my kids and my family right now. Okay. And I would say 90% of the time I'm speaking with them, or if I'm at home, I'm with them. So is that around success, or is that going to help my financial success? No. Does that make sense? That's only love and emotion and success in different areas. But if I want to talk about income, I wouldn't have to be around those people to make it. I would have to be on calls like this. I would have to be in environments where I can speak to people like David, when I want on the phone, or Ivan, or people within the team. So you ask yourself right now, how much time are you spending with people that are going to take you from A to B? And if the answer is I'm spending 95% of my time with people who are not going to take me to where I want to go, or not helping me to where I want to go, or not going to guide me to where I want to go, then I have to think about what kind of time I want to spend in that 5%. Because even if you can spend the quality of that 5% with the right kind of people, That can definitely help out. 5% in a day is more than enough. Um, but that 5% has to be productive, has to be qualified. And that's why this 3 day workshop, it's going to be inevitable that it's going to be a world changer in terms of the value that it gives. So you definitely want to be there. Definitely want your teams there. Definitely want optimum guests there because it's cheap, and it's online. So really, really easy to promote. So really push it. I'll pass it back over to Jordan, and hopefully be seeing you guys in person, or in some way, shape, or form when things get better. It'll be lovely to meet you guys and see you guys in person. Take care, guys, and I'll pass it back over to Mr. Aaron.
Yes, put some fire emojis in the chat. 777s. If you got amazing value from the main man himself, Mr. Zain, we appreciate you, bro. Obviously, you know, the type of success you have in this industry is obviously a pleasure to actually have you on this call at such short notice as well. So, yeah, major thanks to you. Yeah, guys, this event, I remember my first event, my first ever event. It was a small event. It was a few years ago now. And, you guys know the story. Obviously, I've been in this when I started this journey, obviously I was in a phase of transition, needed a change, and I was just inspired. I was in a room of just under 10 people, but the results these 10 people were having at the age they were having it at, I was completely blown away. All right, and it's something that I knew was out there, but actually seeing people making, several, thousands every single month at young ages, I thought, okay, this is what I've been looking for. I didn't know it was possible, but being actually in this environment obviously made me believe that obviously I can do the same thing. And these are what the same thing that these events do. Obviously, you're going to come across information first and foremost. So, we're surrounded by, over 100 plus traders. By the end of this event, there's going to be new educators, definitely. Not only in regards to trading, but obviously e-commerce. We've got e-commerce being launched. Obviously, there'll be more binary option traders, HFX. So, guys, it's going to be something that obviously you're going to leave with, all right, at the end of this event. All right. But more importantly, you want everyone that you know at that event. All right. Because they will have a mirror impact on yourself. And just like Zain said, you're going to feel like, no matter how many people you bring, you're always going to feel like, I wish, I promoted harder. I wish I invited, X, Y, Z. All right. When we went to the London convention, oh man, we enjoyed it, right? We enjoyed it, right?
Yeah, you know about that event.
We enjoyed it, man. But even though we did, it was a great experience. We thought, oh man, we wish we went harder than we did, and obviously we saw the explosion, obviously multiple platinum 1000s. Out of that, obviously, Akeem, came out of the Gideon's contact list and obviously blew things away. So, guys, this event, the lockdown should probably be official by then as well, by the time this event comes around as well. So there's going to be no better time to actually plug in your guests to this call. All right. So, yeah, hopefully you guys took notes. All right. You better have took notes. All right. And every time you take notes moving forward, echoing what Zain said, I want you to have the mentality that, you're literally writing down the numbers to the lottery, for the lottery ticket. All right. Imagine if someone was telling you, okay, these are the numbers for the lottery coming up this weekend. You don't want to be like, oh, was it 5? Was it 6? No, you want to know that you know that you know. So apply that moving forward, and obviously, more importantly, implement. And just like Gideon said, let's work. Let's go. So, guys, let's go. It starts from obviously the daily prospect calls. Let's utilize that every single day. And always promote obviously the call that we have, or the event that we have on the 6th to the 8th of November. All right. So thank you so much for your time, guys. And yeah, let's win. Let us win. All right. Take care and good night.